For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, 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 for the record.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are on to one of our more favorite subjects, and we're going to go off into a lot of different directions when we're talking about this week's releases. Like I said earlier, at the top segment, we have Lil Wayne, Juicy J, Saha the Prince, Static Selector, Jim Jones, Currency. A lot of people dropped projects this week, but only one legend that was on the fringe of losing our listenership forever dropped. And he dropped a cult classic in No Ceilings 3. Prez, I have a lot to say, but this is one of your favorite rappers, right? So I'm going to let you take the floor. Tell me all about how you love No Ceilings 3.
Well, you know that's not gonna happen. You know I ain't gonna say not gonna love it, man. But hey, yeah, Wayne, I appreciate everything that he did before and his back catalog and everything. Even coming out at the top of the year with Funeral was liking that. But you know how the year done played out, and we didn't got to know our artists a little bit more because they want to put out podcasts, they want to go on these interviews and everything. And they find time for that, but didn't find time to act a part of any causes on this. But they still want you to follow. They're up here on this level, and they just forget about everybody else. Like nobody else is going through the plight, or they have their side that they want to go on, and just say, "Damn, everybody else," and then been used as a platform later on, and not really like coming up with a true plan, just jumping sides, what's going to better protect them, And at that point, I can see this like how selfish some people can be and everything. I kind of lose interest, man. It's a different Lil Wayne I'm looking at now than a year and a half ago. We was all with Wayne on his struggle when he was trying to get free from Cash Money and everything. And we heard his side, even though, like what we just talked about with Dave Chappelle, signing a bad deal, you did that. But we said that wasn't right. And then now, when all this other stuff going on in the world, you ain't got a voice. You can't speak up. But you was talking loud just a year and a half ago, how everybody's doing you wrong and how we should have to care. So a lot of that kind of got lost with me and Lil Wayne this year, and the hype. He killed his own hype. They say no press is bad press, right? Well, I disagree. That was definitely like everything that he was doing was just killing all the hype for me. It was just he just made one bad move, and it may not be for everybody. Everybody may think a little bit different to me. I'm just saying, in my eyes, I wasn't aligning with any of his moves that he was making this year. So that kind of made me fall back and just it is what it is. So that was me. And this was the last album I came to. I did it only really because of this. I don't think if we was on this, I would even must gave it the light of day. Like I was just that done with Wayne at this point.
Yeah, so Press, I didn't know you were gonna have that take, so that's interesting. So I thought of something totally different from what I did have to say about the music, and of course we'll get into the music later on in this. But yeah, there is something to say when social media and there's a lot more outlets for artists nowadays. There's a lot more reasons why you just won't fuck with them. And it could be because of their moves. It could be because of their beliefs. It can be because of how they carry themselves as what we thought would be a leader in the genre. Like a lot of people revere Lil Wayne as one of the GOATs. So when he does present himself as aloof, as not aware of what's going on amongst his people, but he's still gonna continue to drop music and want us to like it. You buying into the person nowadays is just as important as the music, right? But your music gotta be badass. It gotta be the shit. Because if it ain't the shit, your true self, who you could hide from in the past, when that comes to light, press, sometimes
You
people
think different.
like yourself, and no disrespect, like I like to keep shit on the music. Like if I like the music and I like the artist, 9 times out of 10, I'm not really checking for any of their political beliefs, their religious beliefs, their beliefs on
Yeah.
society. I don't look to a lot of artists for that because it's clear in their music that they probably won't be the person that I'm looking for to articulate that point. Now there are
Yeah.
some artists that I know that I don't want to call Lil Wayne unintelligent or anything like that, because I don't know, that man's made millions and whatever the case may be, and he's had a long career. So I won't say he's not intelligent, but what I will say, there's Lil Wayne's, and then you also have Talib Kweli's, and then you have Mos Defs, you have Lupe Fiascos. There's a difference. There's a difference when we, like, if they were to say
Yeah.
some of those things and it was crazy and out of the way, then I would be more disappointed because I expected a certain level of understanding of what's around them. You know what I mean? And of course, these artists on tiers of GOAT MCs and what the popular people know, no comparison. But in my mind and how I revere MCs, they're the same, in the same ilk. You know what I mean? So I could definitely see what you're talking about in terms of Lil Wayne. But I know we deep dive that, man. Let's get into No Ceilings 3 on could you get
The
past that?
merits of the music. The merits of the music.
Let's
You
get
know I
on the
can.
merits of the
I
music.
can
And
get into the merits of the music.
yeah. And what did you feel about the music? Because I came out a little different. I went in not expecting much, but I'm gonna let you lead the way on this one and I'll follow up.
So where did you listen at it on? Like, I had to catch this on Dat Piff. It was like, man, making me actually go back to the Dat Piff and make sure I forgot I even must had the app on my phone, but it's still there. So,
Yeah, I caught it on that piff. I caught it on there.
all right, and so first off, first impression, I go find this album. Artwork or the imagery is just boring as hell to me. Like his imagery for the album was just like boring. Like just didn't capture me all. Just with the three and looking like a flag, red flag or whatever. Yeah. But going into the music, V8 came with it to start off with, man. I felt like he came with it, followed it through with the next song with Drake, the freestyle. He was holding his own on that as well. Like, and then Lamar was a great track. I like that track. Like that one was what got the album like really jumping to me. And yeah, man, like so what did you think of those three songs?
So in my opinion, starting off, I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, this isn't bad. This isn't bad. And I was encouraged that okay, this is gonna be a decent listen. You know what I mean? So I wasn't mad at the first 4 tracks, to be honest with you. So that's where
Yeah.
I stand.
Well, for the night, I kind of took a step back. I'm like, man,
But the Pop
yeah,
Smoke,
I'm not
that's
fit.
the one with
Yeah,
the
I'm
Pop
because
Smoke
I
on.
still like, man, that's you can kill anybody else song, man, but dude like died this year and everything, and you trying to like, because it's certain songs like on that No Ceilings, the original No Ceilings, like I be forgetting the original artist. Wayne just killed those songs, you know.
Yeah.
And I was just like, nah, you can't do that to this dude, man. Not to him. So like, kind of, no matter what he
It could
did
be a
on that, I
form
was
of
just like,
respect
I'm not.
too. It could be
Yeah,
a form of respect.
it could be, it could be,
Because it was
but I
one of
was
the
still just like,
doper songs this year as far as singles go in hip hop. So I did like that Pop Smoke album, by the way. Y'all check that out. But yeah,
I would have
carry on.
preferred him to just. I would have preferred him on that track, just drop a remix with it, and then like throw in the verse, and then just get it popping again that way. That's what I would have preferred on that. That's what I'm saying. Just for that one track. That's just how I was thinking in my head. So, and then something different. It was something again. Like I was like, why didn't he just do a remix of this? Because like, I mean, yeah, that's his label made track, right? Like he could have just dropped a remix and made money off of this, but But yeah, that one was fine too though. It was good. It was good.
Hey, all right. So you about in the 6 joints, and
Yeah, yeah.
you ain't
It's
said a
it's
negative word yet.
nah, not coming out. Then Life is Good, Peggy Bundy, uh, Out West is when I first get to my first disappointing song. Just like man, I just wasn't feeling that with Young Thug, man. And
Yeah,
I'm a Young Thug fan, but
I
and
skipped it. I skipped it.
yeah, but their little beef that they had at one point in time with them shooting up the buses and everything. So
Mhm.
good to hear them on the track, and
Oh yeah, I
the
forgot
bar
about
to
that.
the bar to six and all this little stuff that he was coming out stealing the cars, steam off of it and stuff like this, trying to get him a little buzz. So it was that whole little thing. So it was good to hear them on the track together, but it didn't work. It
That
didn't work.
wasn't
It was
it.
just
Yeah.
disappointing. Yeah. Uh, Church, I liked that one. I don't know who. Like I know it had Gutter Gutter on it. It had Euro and somebody else. And like man, but that was a nice track.
Yeah.
And then from there, man, started going downhill. It started
Really,
going downhill for me.
really.
Yeah, yeah. How did you feel about?
Nah, from there, man. Actually, when I knew his kids were on the mixtape, so he got his kids featured on 3 of the songs. Lil Tune, you got Young Carter and Cam Carter. So 3 of his boys were on there, and that was like something dope to see, man. Because
As a father, I'm glad he proud of his son.
as a father myself, I was like, man, it's dope, and the kids actually for kids, man, they sounded okay on there, man. Like I'm not expecting no out of the world bars from kids, but I know 2 of them sounded like they had some promise. The one that was really young, I think he was at the end. He was the last
Yeah.
one, Cam Carter. But the 2 before that, they was all right, man. They
Nah,
was all right.
the one he had the one on Flames. That one I was like, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Uh, but like minus that track on that rest of that back end, I got like nah written beside all these. Like I just wasn't feeling it. And
I think the
hey,
only one I was
I
feeling.
understand. I understand that what he did for his sons, and I think that's a cool and a good moment. But as musically, nah, bro, nah.
Yeah, on the back end, I think the only one I like was looking at it was a 3-headed goat with Corey Guns. So that one was dope. I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't even gonna lie to you on that one. I like that one.
I didn't like that one either.
Yeah, I did. But so I mean, you went through all the tracks, and I kind of feel the same way. But what I will say for this one, man, is just like the thing about when you're one of the goats and you're still dropping, and you're dropping one of your more acclaimed tapes from your mixtape series, we expect greatness. You can't be I. You can't be I.
Exactly.
You can't be I when
It's
you a goat. So that's the problem with it. For anybody else, this would be a fire mixtape, but this
yeah.
isn't. Then the
Well,
other
is
part,
it at this point? At this point, he needs to curate. He needs to curate his own stuff, and you need somebody outside of your clique or anybody else with a good ear to just say, "Hey, these like he had gave me those first 10 songs. We'll be talking a different story right here." I'm like, man, he came with it. He was in and out, gave me great tracks. Uh, he could even must threw all his sons on that one track at the end, just like, oh, and that was neat what he did with his sons. But then spreading them out and giving these other like it just didn't work fully. When you got 20 songs and only the first 8 are good, and you the great, bro. Like take that trash back. And it's just like the same thing that he did with that deluxe that he just did like 2 months ago. Take that back, bro.
and it's like, who's around him right now? Like who's his A&R? Who's his right hand man? Tez, is Tez still around? Who who's honcho in these projects, or who's in his ear that would say, Wayne, this ain't it? Like, we at the point in mixtapes and projects, we don't even call things mixtapes no more. They're projects with all
Yeah.
original new music. we do not, I won't speak for we. I'll say me. I do not care to hear anybody rapping over anybody's beats anymore. That wave has died a long time ago. Like
Yeah.
that's cool. We can always have No Ceilings one. We can have all of the other mixtapes that he's dropped where he has memorable verses and he's killed shit, but that's not it no more. We want to hear new music, original music, and you to do your thing. So that's where I was thinking, like, who's in his corner not letting him know this? Because I know you and I aren't the only people that feel that way.
Yeah, and it was like I mentioned in a couple of those songs. It's like at this point, you're a goat, Wayne. You one of the greats. Like, what are you doing this for? Like, it'd be better if you thought this artist or this song was fire, and you just threw it to the artist, and they threw it. I got to throw it out as a remix or something. That's giving back.
And
That's
then
doing your just due,
the
and
other
that's like that's how you can stay hot too. And you just keeping it down to one verse. Man, you can kill that. And where everybody like, ooh,
and
Wayne, man.
he has been doing this thing on features to like on
The
Detroit,
Big Sean feature.
The Big Sean feature. He also killed it on Benny's. He had the hardest verse on that. I think I said that on record. Like I was like, okay, Wayne, okay, you know.
No,
So
you didn't say it. You didn't say it before. You eventually came around to it. I'm
you
just throwing
it.
out.
You gotta sit with it. You gotta sit with it. By the time I was on air, I said it. So that's his own record. But yeah, man, like he does his thing, and I think that's what we keep coming to him. Like, you're a GOAT, so I'm gonna come to it. We're gonna cover it, regardless of whether we like it or not, because you earn that right by being a GOAT. You earn that right for me. I'm gonna keep coming back because I want to see the best from one of the legends in the game. But when he's not properly being managed or not listening or just not rapping as well as we know he can rap when he's focused, it's kind of disheartening. You know what I mean? It's just one of them things where I still think about what's going on with his contract, what's going on with his business, because there's no way his business is right and he drops the shit that came out of Carter 5, which looks like some throwaways, some old beats, which possibly just some new features on it. I'm not sure. Don't correct me on that. Or correct. Didn't need it. So it's just like one of these things. Like, what are these guys doing? And then I think, no disrespect to Busta, he did the same thing. He dropped a deluxe on top of deluxe. And I love Busta. But it's like, what are you guys doing? I don't want 40 joints from y'all. Like, I just want a concise album to where you really put your all on it. You went and got this producer. You went and got this producer. Like, give me something that we can live with that is going to shit on everybody else that dropped it. You have the producers. You have everything at your disposal to make it work. You just got to lock in. And I won't say stop being lazy, but I just say lock in. I'll leave it there.
Yeah. And I want to end like what I talked about at the beginning when it was coming in about Lil Wayne and stuff like that. You can have a different of opinion. I agree with that. Like you can come in, but you got to be able to talk and speak and actually hold your own on that. Just saying like, oh, it don't exist, or oh, I don't agree with this. That's the part. Like when you're not bringing nothing else to you, just shutting off and just saying it's done. Like, well, then I can shut off on you. That's what I'm saying. Like anybody else, if that's what they're gonna do is shut out a situation, then I don't have to keep promoting or supporting them if they're not gonna, if they don't feel like they gotta support or even bring forth some good topics or good discussion in reverse to what's going on in the world. You know what I mean? Like if you really can't add that, and then you just, I'm done with it. And then you want to have a podcast and say you want to talk on all this stuff. That is where I'm listening. Like you want to talk or you don't. And that was the mystique that they had back in the day. I didn't know what Wayne did from day to day. I didn't know what he just dropped hot bars. You know what I mean? But you give us too much access, and I realized like weird, man. Weird in the worst ways. Weird.
But yeah, man. I mean, to close this bad boy out, my final opinion on it, is good but not great, and when you're great, you can't be okay. Like that's my final assessment on it, and it will be a forgettable mixtape. We'll move on to whatever else comes out next Friday, and keep it pushing. But if you rock with it, you rock with it. Let us know what you think about it. You got any final thoughts on this, Press?
Yeah, man, quit dropping these on this. Like everybody got their streaming service or whatever. That is why they went away from that. Like stealing other people's songs because it can't get released on this, and you ain't gonna get credit. I don't want to go searching for you on these other things. If it's a newer artist, yeah, like I rock with it that way. But the new style, man, pay your producers, get some new beats up in there, and release a project that we can actually listen at on our regular stuff. When you got to go add 10 other apps on there just listening to your song or mess with my data all day just streaming the song.
And there you have it. Lil Wayne, No Ceilings 3. Check it out for yourself. Listen for yourself. Don't have any preconceived notions. And let us know how you feel in the comments for you people out there in YouTube land. If you're listening on audio, hit us up on our Instagram. Hit us up on Twitter. Let us know at DSC_podcast or Don't Sleep on the Couch podcast on YouTube. In the comments, hit us up. Let us know what you feel about this.